Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to week 7 and day 2 of our project class. So this week we talked about the changes which are taking place in the environment, the greenhouse effect, and we also did an experiment to observe the effects of greenhouse. So before we move any further, let's talk about what actually is environment. What do we mean by the word environment? So environment is basically everything which is around us. So wherever we are, everything which is around us makes up our environment. It can be your own house, it can be your school, it can be any place you are in which is around you makes up your environment. Okay, so when we move forward, the first question I want to ask is, why is it important to take care of the earth? So when we talked about this question, you guys said that we live on this planet Earth and we love it. That's why we should take care of it. Other plants and animals also live on it. So that's why we should also take care of it. And if we do not take care of it, then it will become dirty and everyone will die. So then there will be no more Earth to live on. Okay, so this is important. Now, what can we do to actually take care of the Earth? First of all, we should not throw garbage and trash on the floor or in water, as it can kill the animals or even make people sick. Second, we should not cut down the plants and trees. Even if we do have to cut them, then we should plant more trees and more plants. And we should use bikes instead of cars, or even if you can't bike your way, then you can share a ride to reduce the amount of pollution which comes from the cars. And last and not the least, we should not waste water. Okay, moving on. Humans like to live in a healthy place. We need safe place to live, clean air to breathe, clean water to drink, and even good food to eat. So this, our home, is planet Earth. So in order to live in a clean environment, our planet Earth is our environment. And it is important that we take care of our environment by taking care of the soil, the water, the air, the plants and animals that live over here. That is the way we can, the earth can keep giving us all the things we need to be happy and healthy. So taking care of the earth is also called caring for the environment or being green. So what do we mean by being green? Should we paint the earth green? No, absolutely not. Being green means we should take care of the greenery around us. So what things are green? The trees, the plants, the grass. So we should take care of all the green things. Now, the weather or climate of any place is what makes it a pleasant environment for all the living things to live. So that's why the weather of planet Earth is important for humans, animals, and plants to survive. In the same way, the weather is starting to change because humans are doing things that are causing damage to the environment. So, a few things that might be cutting down of trees, because as they clean the air and they keep the environment cool, so that's why the weather or the temperature is changing around us. So what does sun do? The sun keeps us warm, it gives us energy so that plants can grow. In turn, the plants give animals their energy when animals eat the plants. Moreover, the rain brings water for animals to drink and plants to absorb. So this is how the nature keeps everything happy and healthy. So the weather needs to be just right to keep the living things on planet Earth happy and healthy. Now, so when we talk about this picture, let's see, what do you see, what do you think, and what do we wonder? So most of you said you see the sun, the earth, the stars, the earth's shield, and then the yellow lines or rays. Then I asked you what you think is happening in the picture. You said that sun is sending sunlight to the earth, sun is warming up the earth. That is what might be happening. Moving on to the wonder part. What do you wonder? Is there any question which comes to your mind? So you said, I wonder what are these yellow lines? I wonder what does that shield do? I wonder, why is there no sunlight on the other side of the Earth? So those were interesting questions. Moving on, let's see what do we mean by this picture. So planet Earth is surrounded by a layer of air. We call it sky, but scientists call it as atmosphere. So in this blue layer you see around the Earth is called its atmosphere. Now outside our atmosphere, can you see this tiny blue line is a layer of gas that surrounds the Earth. These gases let the sunlight in to warm the Earth up. But these gases also have another important function to do. These gases don't let all of the heat out in the atmosphere, but they let some of the heat out back in the atmosphere. So when these gases don't go outside, then it is just like a warm blanket covering the Earth, and they just keep the Earth not too hot, not too cold, but just right. So these gases help keep the Earth warm and the right amount of temperature. But what is happening recently? This layer of gases around the atmosphere has been getting thicker. So it's just like the Earth is wearing a thicker or a two-layered blanket now. So as a result of this, less heat can get out into the space and more heat is staying in the atmosphere and it is warming us up. So as a result, planet Earth is getting hotter day by day. So let's just talk about what is actually a greenhouse. Have you ever been in a greenhouse? Yes. So a greenhouse is basically a house which is made out of glass. And what it does is it lets the sunlight in but stop the heat from going out. So in this way, the climate or the weather or the temperature inside the greenhouse is higher than the temperature outside. So in the same way, these green gases around the Earth are acting like a greenhouse, making the Earth hotter. So what we did, an experiment. So we collected trays, some cling film, a stopwatch maybe, blocks of ice, 2 building brick houses are optional, and then we needed a sunny day. So what we did was we took 2 trays, placed a block of ice in each of them, and then covered one tray with a cling film. And then we put both the trays out in the sun to observe how long it takes for the ice to melt in each of the trays and which one melts faster. So before we started our experiment, we asked you, what do you think might happen? So that was a prediction. So most of you said that the ice which was not covered will melt faster. But no, what happened that the ice which was not covered was melted fastest. And why you think this happened? Because it was covered with a cling film. The heat from the sun entered the glass, the bowl or the tray, but it could not get out because it was covered with a cling wrap. So that is why the ice in the covered glass melted fastest. So this is a picture. We took 2 glasses, we put ice in it, and this one was covered with cling wrap. And can you see the water level in this glass is more than this one? So this shows that the one which was covered with cling wrap melted fastest because the heat was going in but could not come out. That was it for today. See you in the next class. Bye bye.